Nearly half of all Americans in a relationship have hidden money from someone they love. Isaiah was one of them. He never called it a secret. He called it privacy. He was 32, married 6 years, a combined income just under 6 figures. On paper, a good marriage, a good life. Under the sock drawer in the back bedroom, there was a loose board. Under the board, an envelope. Inside the envelope, a bank statement folded in quarters. The envelope did not weigh much. Paper never does. But some paper carries more than its weight in it. Sarrah did not know it existed. First, consider this. Sarrah grew up in a house where money was spoken out loud. Every bill, every paycheck, said at the kitchen table. To her, that was what love looked like. Nothing hidden, nothing assumed. Then look at this. Isaiah grew up in a different house. His parents shared one account, and he watched that account become a battlefield. Every withdrawal was a question. Every question was a fight. To him, keeping something back was not dishonesty. It was survival. Neither one of them was wrong. They were raised by two different definitions of safe. They fell in love the way people do. Two good people, two good intentions, two completely different operating systems, running quietly underneath the marriage, unnoticed for 6 years. Now add this. 3 years in, Isaiah started a small side business. Custom furniture, built out of a rented garage 2 towns over. He believed in it. He put $8,000 into it before he let himself admit it was not going to work. He never told Sarrah the number. He told himself he was protecting her from worry. He told himself it did not matter because the joint account never saw it. He told himself a lot of things. The furniture business closed quietly. The debt did not. It moved into a personal account at a branch neither of them normally used. Then into an envelope, then into the sock drawer. Now you see it. It was never really about $8,000. It was about how comfortable Isaiah had become carrying something alone inside a marriage that was supposed to be shared. But here is what nobody in this story knew yet, not even Isaiah. The house they wanted to buy required both of their names on one mortgage application. And a mortgage application does not ask politely. It asks for everything. Sandra Blake had worked mortgage underwriting for 19 years. She had seen this exact silence more times than she could count. Not fraud, not malice, just two people who had never actually agreed on what our money meant. She slid the disclosure forms across the desk and asked the question she always asked first. Is there anything either of you needs to tell me before I run this? Isaiah's hands did not move. Sarrah noticed that before she noticed anything else. The old voice came back, the one that had followed him since he was a kid. Loud, clear. It said, if she sees everything, she will decide you are not enough. For a moment, Isaiah almost reached for one more explanation, one more reason it did not really count. Instead, he did something small. He turned the folded statement so Sarrah could read it right side up. She did not yell. That was almost the hardest part for Isaiah. She sat very still at their kitchen table, the same kind of table her parents used to say everything out loud at, and asked him one sentence. How many other things don't I know? That night, Isaiah sat down on the floor of the closet, right where the loose board used to be. He thought about Sarrah's face at the table. He thought about the version of himself that believed silence was the same thing as kindness. He sat with both of those thoughts for a long time, not fighting them, just letting them be true. Then something shifted, not loudly, not with music behind it, just a quiet settling, the kind that happens when a person finally stops defending something that was never worth defending. He stood up, walked to the kitchen, and sat back down across from his wife. The old voice returned once more, quieter now. It said, "Some things are safer left in a drawer." Isaiah heard it, and for the first time, did not believe it. He picked up his phone and called Sarrah back, this time asking her to walk both of them through everything, together, out loud. Sarrah did not lecture them. She pulled a blank sheet of paper across the desk, drew one line down the middle, and asked them to write down, together, every account. Either of them held, not for the bank, for each other. Isaiah wrote slower than Sarrah, but he wrote all of it. When the page was full, Sarrah tapped it once with her pen. "This is the only kind of joint account that actually protects a marriage," she said. "The one where nothing needs a hiding place." She did not say another word. She did not need to. The mortgage did not close in a day. The account sharing did not become comfortable overnight either. Day 2, Isaiah told his brother about the debt, expecting understanding. His brother laughed and said, "Some things are better kept private, man." Isaiah did not argue. He also did not agree. Day 9, an old habit almost won. A small, unexpected expense came in, easy to just handle quietly and never mention. He sat with his own account open on his phone for 11 minutes before he told Sarrah that night instead. Day 21, nothing dramatic happened at all. Sarrah left a note on the kitchen table that said only, "Thank you for telling me the small one." It was the first sign that something had actually changed. It was small enough that almost nobody but them would have noticed it. The bank statement that once lived folded in a sock drawer now lives in a folder on the kitchen counter, unfolded, in plain sight, next to the mail. Nobody hides it anymore. Nobody needs to. Here is the truth neither Sarrah nor Isaiah were ever taught. Financial secrecy is almost never about the money. It is about which version of yourself you are still too afraid to let the person who loves you see. The weight of a secret does not disappear when it stays hidden. It only gets heavier, quietly, for however long it is carried alone. That is the whole lesson. That has always been the lesson. If this is the kind of truth you needed today, subscribe. There is another story like it here every week.